is Serpa. What's up, Golden?
What up, baby?
Golden, I missed you, buddy.
I missed you, buddy.
But I did miss you. I always miss you. Life is rough being sans Golden. People don't realize it, that once you have David Golden in your life, life just gets better, bro. We're going to have a fun show. I'm excited about it. Welcome to the Serpa Show, handsome.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for having me again.
I always have to have you back. You're basically the godfather for me. You brought me in. But, hey, we know the rules at the Serpa Show. We don't talk eXp in the first 10 minutes.
I'm not going to talk about eXp at all. I'm just going to have my coffee and then, wear my shirt.
Fantastic. Fantastic as always.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, so let's go. Let's get this thing started, brother.
I'm going to share this.
KW has launched, and of course, you're a KW guy.
I'm going to share.
Formerly a KW guy. And
yeah, give me 1 second. I'm going to share this thing.
Okay, do it.
Fantastic.
There we go.
I'm going to tease out, and you're going to want to mute what you're sharing out here.
I am.
Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is we have a really exciting show. Lots of fun. I know everyone's shifting and taking kids to school and whatnot. And so we're going to give you guys some entertainment while we do it. So David Golden's formerly a KW guy, top 2-3 recruiters in the country in back-to-back years. I spent a short stint at KW. It was kind of a gateway for me to eXp. I'm going to get busted myself for saying eXp again, but I want to talk about KW's iBrokerage. Gary Keller's been very forthright in saying that he is working a technology company. And what is KW's iBrokerage? Break it down for us, handsome.
I mean, from what I've seen, they're going to be buying up property, and they're going to be basically, they're saying that they're going to keep the agents involved, right?
Yeah.
But at what cost? Right? So if they're going to keep the agents involved, they're going to have a fee associated with that, which I don't know what that's going to look like. They're being very secretive about it, which is
interesting to find what the split's going to be at.
Right.
One of the things that I remember when I went to family reunion, I'm always the guy that's trying to get behind all the closed doors. I want to know what's going on because I want to be a part of it. I want to be helping out, and I'm just interested in the tech. And so I sat in on one of the tech conversations, and they said they were launching their Kelly thing, which of course is their version of Siri. Hey, Kelly, how much is this house worth? And then where's the listing agent belong in all of that? Or, hey, Kelly, show me this house. You know what I mean? And then all of it, it's great. It's brilliant tech. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's costing a whole bunch of money to develop, but it will absolutely be sold back to the agent. And for a company that is going to compete with Zillow and working to compete with Redfin, you have to wonder at what cost to the agent.
Well, that's always been the MO with KW, right? Even when I was a team leader for 2.5 years, it was always how do we get the agents to sign up for more classes, and all the classes are $99 or $49 or $149 or whatever. How do we get agents to go to family reunion? How do we get agents to go to mega camp? How do we get agents to go to Austin, to go to, masterminds? How do we get agents to go, literally just how do we get agents to continue to go feed the beast, right? So
constantly being sold something.
Yeah, you're constantly being sold training, education, classes, masterminds, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, you're always being sold it. So now you're going to be sold this iBuyer thing, which I don't know if it's going to be like a fee for service, we're going to pay you X fee for showing this house, or we're going to pay you X fee for, I have no idea what they're going to do, but I do know that they're going to, just like Maps coaching, right? Maps coaching is a racket, dude. It's a racket.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
the thing is, it's kind of a thing where it's like, how many times have you taken bold? How many times have you done this? And people forget that, the new agents that are taking bold are closing the lion's share of the transactions with KW. And they're running a great system, but it's a system based on dependence, which is coming back, needing the brokerage. And there's a whole bunch of people out there that don't necessarily need a brokerage, that actually feel quite hindered by that, but still want the mastermind support online. And it's very easy to see where that transition is going. It's very easy to see where a lot of the mega agents are headed. And the people that are not so incredibly intertwined that they're on payroll with KW are heading out the door. And in my opinion. And I think it's going to only happen more rapidly as this wave happens. Because the thing is, and let's talk about, really, let's talk about rates going up. Because this is a fantastic transition here. Rates are going up.
Yeah, rates have gone up, and rates are going to continue to go up. They're signaling another increase in December, and then
that's going to get launched right as this transition. And tell us what you could just break it down for us, Golden. What's this market? What the rates go up, and then what happens to the market, brother?
Well, purchasing power goes down, so home sales go down. The amount you can finance goes down. So the amount, just as a buyer, the amount you can buy is less and less and less. So as rates go up, purchasing power goes down. Prices typically go down at the same time too. And then we've got another rate increase coming in December. And then they're predicting either between 2 and 4 rate hikes for 2019 too. So if 2 on the low end, 4 on the high end, that's a big. I mean, that could be one whole point.
Well, the thing is, we're always talking about a bubble, and the people that are not alarmist, they say, "Oh, well, the bubble can't happen. The bubble can't happen. It's not going to happen. If it goes up a point, we're still under 6." But at the end of the day, what does that mean for your average everyday home buyer? It means that in the next 2 years, the next year and a half, people are going to be working to buy and working to sell while people are still relatively interested in what are still historic lows for interest rates. I mean, you didn't get in real estate yesterday, and I'm not going to date you, but when you raise rates a full point, or you raise rates 2 to 4 times in a year, that just means that people are less interested in practicing and in buying and selling. The daily move up or move down doesn't happen as often, and all of a sudden, it shifts into a buyer's market.
Yeah, I mean, the shift is here. It's very clear to me, and people will start to recognize it here very shortly. But it happens, and it happens pretty quick. I don't know if you remember what happened in 2008, but it almost happened overnight, right? Like, oh my God, what happened? And it's like prices start to decrease. Mm-hmm. Investors start to freak out. They start dumping everything. I mean, who knows?
What's very interesting here, guys, is this shift is going to be very different than the last one, in that you have the people that have been getting fat during the last up market are teams. The teams have absolutely exploded. Some of these, the dinosaurs, I think, are going to get choked out. I think that the Realty companies, I don't think that they're going to survive this next shift. I think in 2 years from now, you're not going to see a whole lot of Realty in your high volume markets. They're still going to be on the outskirts, and we're talking about the obvious Realty companies. And I don't want to, pay anybody off, but Google your company. There's a pretty good chance that you're working for Realty, and that 6 to 8% that you're cutting off the top is going to somebody that you're never going to meet, who's never going to help you out, and quite honestly has no vested interest in your longevity as an agent because they run puppy mills. And so the shift, I believe, in Holy Moses, I think we might be past 10 minutes, but I think that the shift is going to strengthen the agent-centric agent, and then people are going to have 2 very big choices. And this is my opinion. Do I work with the tech company that lacks service, or do I work with the individual in my area that I know, like, and trust to take care of me and the largest piece of equity that I have in my existence currently?
Yeah.
Tech versus service. That's where it's going.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that more and more we have to provide a higher and higher level of service in order to compete with these tech companies, right?
That's right.
That's what's going to separate. That's what's going to separate it. And I think we're going to see a pretty large decrease in the amount of realtors in the MLS.
I agree.
And I think you're going to see a lot of realtors start to question what companies they actually work for and what fees they're actually paying. Because when you start, it's all good when you're making, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars a year, right? It doesn't matter. Go ahead. It doesn't matter that you've paid your brokerage, $100,000 last year. If you're making $800,000, right? Because you don't care. You don't see it. But when you start to make less money,
preach.
You start to really break down, like, you know what I mean? Like when you're rolling in dough, it's all good. You spend here, you spend there. You don't even notice what you're spending, right? You just swipe.
That's right.
Start to get a little tougher. What happens? We start to look at our budget. What can we cut out? How can we trim this? Like where am I spending my money, right? So I think that's going to happen a lot with these agents right now. And this is the perfect quarter to actually do it, to set up for a really profitable and prosperous 2019, right? So I think that's going to be happening a lot right now, because as the market starts to shift, right, you're doing less transactions. You got more time to think about, wait a minute, what's happening? I should probably start evaluating what's going on here. And the eXp trend, man, is just mind-boggling. And people are starting to see it all over the place. And they're going to start looking into it. And the more people look into it, the more people are fascinated by it, the more people decide to join, because it's just ridiculous. Like, it's just why there's no reason not to join.
Yeah, and what's very man, I was really hoping that was going to fit. So I think we're going to. What was the current tech versus service? So a couple of things that I wanted to comment on what you just said, which was very intelligent, very profound. I don't even think people realize exactly what's going on, but because of the less transactions, the agent is going to be put in a situation where they are forced to provide higher service in order to retain the clients that they have currently coming in. And so you're going to see a lot more referral business. You're going to see a shift towards all these different things. But the thing is the biggest and most important thing that you described is you're going to see a major separation. The quality agents are going to understand that the value here, and I'm going to actually change this, the value. The agents, actually, you know what? This is going to be a brokerage shift. And we're actually going to start shifting. We're going to be able to bring up eXp now. We're officially past that time. But
oh, good.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I feel like we've just been slinging them up. But the thing is this is just the truth, brother. You have to provide higher service. And so what the shift is this. One, the agent that is independent, self-sustaining, does not necessarily need a brick and mortar, but enjoys the camaraderie and support of the mastermind, right? The creme de la creme, your top 5%. And I think that those people are going to go to flat fee companies and they're going to go to eXp, period. I don't think they're going to go anywhere else other than the people that have their feet very deeply enshrined in the KW models or the Coldwell models, where they've got special deals that are cooked up for just them as the top producers. Now, shifting versus the puppy mills, the people that are perfecting, bringing and onboarding new agents and making them productive through not training anymore, but through tech. So you're going to have the tech-supported agent on the low split, and you're going to have the self-sustaining island as an individual. So that's why I made the shift to eXp. I didn't even understand completely the rev share, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, until about 3 days ago when I really sat down. I was like, oh my God. So this is how much more money I could make if I bring in, instead of the 8 people that I'm at now, the 10 people. And I'm going to make the surprise announcement on Monday who I'm bringing in. But it was mind-boggling to me when it clicked. And I was like, okay, now I have to start doing the Serpa Show again because it makes so much more sense. But I came over because I wanted to practice as an individual agent and be able to have access to all the same things that the agent that the big companies have at the lower split without the team. I don't want the team anymore. I never want the team anymore. Too much anxiety, too much stress. So where do you see the brokerage shift going? I broke it down. I think what's happening with Realty. I said what I think is happening with the flat fee companies to a degree, and what's happened with eXp. Where's your head at, Golden?
I think that the biggest shift you're going to see is like, you know, company like when the agents start making a little bit less money because the market's a little bit tougher and there's a little bit more competition, right?
Yes.
Trim some things, right? So my thought is, what are you going to trim, right? So I'm thinking, okay, if you're paying $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month for coaching, right?
Yep.
I think that's one of the things that will be trimmed also, especially because the eXp model has like the 7-layer of residual income or revenue share, right?
Yes.
All of those people have a vested interest in your success. And when you have people like Rick Jiha, David Golden, Mike Bjorkman, you know, Rosie Rodriguez, Brent Gove. You got all these big players that have a vested interest in your success. The coaching model as we see it today,
yes,
I think is going to be, is also going to experience a shift too, because I, David Golden, don't necessarily need to go pay somebody a couple grand a month to coach me.
That's right.
When I got my buddy Rick G, I was one of the best coaches on the planet, you know, on my second level of revenue share. And he's like, dude, I'll coach you.
Dude,
Like,
this is
help you build.
I'm so glad that you brought this up, because we're going to get back to trim versus diversify and what people are cutting cost on to make it during a down market. But the big thing right now, and you're so freaking awesome for bringing this up, coaching is history. Coaching is old news. The old way of coaching, you now have companies where you can receive mentorship from people that have a vested interest in your success. And because of that, coaching is now history. And so you're going to start seeing these big coaching companies making drastic shifts, and you're going to start seeing the smaller ones closing doors. Absolutely, 100% without a doubt in my mind. And so what's happening right now is all of these coaches are joining eXp. I'm telling you.
I mean, there's definitely that happening too.
I'm telling you right now, all these coaches are joining eXp. If they're telling you that they're not, it's because they have their own deal set up and they're waiting to funnel their own people through. And they don't care about you and your family, because that's money that's going out of their mouths and not feeding their children. So, coaching is history. You heard it here first. I've said it here a bunch of times. This is old news. You no longer have to monetize coaching, because your incentive is in making someone successful. That's where you're going to make the money. You're not going to make money unless you make money off of their success. And the amount of money that you make off of an individual's capped.
Yeah. You've seen it happen too. There's a bunch of different groups within eXp that I see doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. Right? Like we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you. We're gonna mastermind together. We're gonna coach together. You know, we're gonna coach you in how to do this. We're gonna be a successful team. We're all in financial alignment together. I mean, it just makes perfect sense, right? Like, why would I not give you everything I've got, right, to help you succeed and help your team succeed? When you guys win, I win.
Yes.
So why not?
One of those things where it just makes sense. And when you look at the model, and look, the rev share thing is awesome, and we'll break this down here in a second. But what I want to do really quick is I want to go back to this trimming versus diversify, because a lot of us were put in a situation where, because we see the market coming, we're wanting to cut cost now. Because the shift is coming, we're wanting to cut costs now. And so I cut out a lot of my costs a long time ago. Thank God that I did when I did, because what's happening is Zillow, and I'm just going to call it what it is. People are cutting things like Zillow. And so that's going to be my cut. And then I'll ask you what you want people to cut. Cut Zillow. And this is why I think you should cut Zillow. Zillow is doing something that they've been doing for years, only now they're doing it to put you out of business. What they did before was you would buy a market share for a certain amount of money. Now, let's say that the market share, to do anything less than 20 or 33%, where you show up on every third page with Zillow, you're wasting your time. So you always want to shoot for 50%, a 50% market share. You're showing up on every other page. Some of you, your eyes are going to gloss over. Other people are going to be like, that's really smart. I'm going to cut the crap out of Zillow. So if you're paying for a 50% market share at $2,000, and then 3 years later, you're like, why is my business suffering? Why are these Zillow leads falling off? All of a sudden, you call back and you realize you have an 18% market share and you're still paying the same $2,000. And they tell you, well, that's your problem. In order to bring you back up to a 50% market share, you're going to have to pay $3,400. And now they're paying you. It's because they've been selling out all these shares out from underneath you, making yours watered down and worth less. So the Zillow scheme, it's no good. Cut Zillow out. Zillow has been being used by super agents to absolutely choke you out of your market, because they're the ones that can afford it, and yet they're the ones that get cut the deals to continue to practice with Zillow. So my cut for the down market, get rid of Zillow. It's no good. What about you, brother?
My cut is cut Keller Williams.
Woo!
That's my cut. Because with this new, they're trying to compete with us, right? So now they're building a virtual brokerage, blah, 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 blah. Now they come out with this disappearing cap thing. So let me get this straight. Yeah. So I recruit David Serpa, right? I'm a Keller Williams agent. I recruit David Serpa to Keller Williams, right? But then David Serpa goes and recruits another capper. So he only pays, let's just say 12,000 instead of 16,000 in cap. What happens to my profit share? It just got cut by a quarter. What happens if David Serpa goes and recruits 3 other cappers to the company? He recruits 4 cappers to Keller Williams, and I brought David Serpa to the company. Guess what I get now? Zero profit share because he no longer pays a cap.
So those super agents that you brought on to KW that were the reason why you were getting a little bit of profit share, because really, what is a profit share? It's what's left over after the expenses that the company had to lay out. And if they run a big gain, they spend a little bit more money, they have less to delve out.
Yep.
So the disappearing cap, you recruit a big dog over to KW, all of a sudden they participate in the disappearing cap program. They recruit a couple of people that also cap. Next thing you know, you're no longer getting paid from bringing over that agent. Yeah.
Profit share is already bad enough as it is. And now with this, it's going to make it even worse.
Yeah.
Like that's not cool for me. As if I'm a KW agent, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're trying to make they're trying to.
I didn't even know that was something that was going on.
Yeah. The reason why they did that though, right? It's not stupid if you think about it, because they're doing a disappearing cap. Because if I recruit 4 agents to Keller Williams, guess what I've got now?
No cap. I got
cap. So now that's their new retention model, right? So now I don't want to leave because of the fear of loss, right? Because of the fear of, why would I go somewhere else and then have to pay a cap when I'm here and I don't have to pay a cap at all? But that's not generating revenue.
Agents. I'm sorry, go ahead, and then I'll tell you what. Okay.
That's not generating revenue for you as an agent. What that's doing is creating a fear of loss. So now you don't want to leave and you're stuck because you don't want to lose the $16,000 or $20,000 cap that you're no longer paying, right? But at the same time, you're losing all the revenue share and the stock that you could be getting if you were with eXp, the future of real estate.
See, I think that what KW is doing right now is they've got a slow bleed, and it's becoming a fast bleed very quickly. Yeah, it's not really that slow anymore. I mean, really, like when you were telling me to come over to eXp before I came over to KW, I was telling you, no, you guys are old. It's not going to happen. You're just like Exit Realty, and because I didn't understand it. But the thing is I'm just now starting to understand all the benefits that come with eXp. I just came over because it was the cheapest option for me to practice real estate and still maintain the ability to have access to all the tech that I had running a mega team. But the big thing is with the mega agent is the mega agent, if you were to come over with your big super team where you have 10, 15 people, they're all recruiting people. And then all these agents that you're recruiting over to KW so that you don't have a cap, if you were to bring them over to eXp, it would be absolutely life-changing, not just for you, but for your family. I'm at like catastrophically so.
I think what just clicked for me too is like, I'm at eXp, and guess what I have? I have a disappearing cap too. Mm-hmm. Just like this, right? Because whenever I recruit, let's just say, I don't know, 6 agents to the company, I got no cap. Mm-hmm. But not only do I have no cap, I'm also generating income, generating revenue from all those people and the people that they bring, so on and so forth. It's not just I'm not going to pay a cap anymore. Whoop-de-doo.
Yep.
That's
now instead of that money going to KW,
they're going to pay me. They're going to pay me, and a lot of money. Not just like I'm going to reduce your cap by $15,000 or $20,000. I'm talking about.
You know what's some of the biggest, most interesting conversations that I've had with people is when I lay it out for them and I tell them, hey, listen, you're paying $130,000 a year to your brokerage. And like, I know, but they're like family, or I feel bad, or, it's like this or it's like that. Well, you know what? In a down market, that $130,000 is really going to count for something. But that's mainly with the Realty companies. And we're buzzing right now, man. We got 21 live viewers. And so I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Apparently, we're striking some chords here because people are tuning in for this. So the big thing is the disappearing cap, which you also have with it's a response to eXp and getting that back in not just your profit share, or excuse me, your rev share, but also the stock. But they're also saying that they're doing the virtual teams.
Yeah. Like what if I bring 5 cappers to Keller Williams? Are they going to pay me $4,000 or $5,000 a year extra? What if I bring 6 cappers? Are they going to pay me? No, they're not.
That money goes to Big Dad. That's it.
4. You get 4, and that's it. That's all you got.
So where does the money go? Where does the money go? Where does the money go? And that's what
4 to eXp. Oh my God.
Brother, and you know, I wish I would have listened before, because the thing is, my rev share check doubled last month, and it was exciting for me. And I haven't even hit the 10 mark yet. And when my 10th person comes over, which I'm announcing on Monday, his plan is to recruit 100 people in the first year. 100 people.
Oh, 100 people, 100 days.
100 people in 100 days.
That's his goal.
You just made my heart race. So just so that you guys know, if this man, and I keep trying not to say his name, and that's one of the things that's difficult about having my brain, is it's very hard to compartmentalize in that way. But when this man comes over and recruits 100 people in the first 100 days, what will that do for him annually? You want to do the math for you?
I mean, I've got 100 people. I've got 100 people in my rev share already, and I know where it does for me.
Yeah, and we can't make any stated income claims, but what we can do is we can tell you the fact is this. The fact is this, with the way that it's set up. You personally recruit 100 cappers, and they're just paying, what is it, $16,000 annually? You recruit 100, and what is first levels at $2,800?
Yeah.
So that's $280,000 a year. First level.
Yeah, that's mind-boggling.
Boom! And not everybody's going to recruit 100 people.
No.
Not everybody's going to do it. But what will that do for me? Because he's second level. Once I have recruited 10 people, and that's where it bumps up to what, 4,200?
32.
3,200. 3,200 on the second level. And you can tell this is just started to click for me, which is kind of wild.
I see the light bulbs going on for you.
100 people.
It clicked for me a lot.
Annually, if he has 100 people that just close 4 or 5 transactions a year,
well,
that means that just this man,
eight or 10 transactions, 8 or 10.
Not in that market, not in the LA market.
Okay. Oh, now you said LA. You're
$320,000 a year. Spoiler alert. $320,000 a year for me. $230,000 a year for him. And what does it do for you, Golden?
280,000 for him, 320 for you, and for me it's 200,000.
Dude, that is insane.
Yeah,
and that is insane. That's not stated income. That's just the fact of how rev share works. And one of the things that I kept doing is I kept blowing you off about rev share. I was like, dude, I'm a poor white trash kid from the wrong side of the tracks. I don't understand rev share. I don't understand profit or all this stuff. Stop talking to me about it. But it made sense. So somebody recruits 100 people. I personally, as a second level, make $320,000. He on the first level makes $230,000, and you $280,000, and you on the third level make
$200,000.
$200,000. Goodness gracious.
Yep. It's crazy. It's and I don't know why people talk smack about it. It's the same thing that is owning a brokerage, right? We all own our own virtual brokerages. That's the way that I look at it, because if you own a brokerage, what's your main job? Recruiting agents, right? If you run a team, what's your main job? Recruiting agents.
Yep.
So what makes this any different? Why is this bad and that's good?
Because you're getting paid, David Golden, not because the big fat cat at the top who's making $1 billion a year, not because the big fat cat that lives in your local market that owns your freaking local, Coldwell Banker or wherever the freaking big Realty company is. You're not the one making the money for doing the recruiting. Somebody else is. Wake up You are at the table or on the menu. And I'll tell you what, I worked my butt cheeks off to get at the table when I was at family reunion to help mastermind on the tech. And I felt like the rug was absolutely pulled out from underneath me. When I said, hey, listen, I know where this thing with Kelly is headed. It's going to be, hey, Kelly, come list my house. And their guy who's in charge of tech said, I can't comment on that right now. I can't comment on that. So tell me this, KW. Tell me this. And this is my honest to God question for you. When it gets to that point where it's, hey, Kelly, come list my house, what do you think your split's going to be? So you can either work at a tech company, take it. Take tech company. You run with it. If you want to pretend like you run a tech company now, pretend like it with the brick and mortar. But if you're going to do it, you better provide excellent freaking service with all those puppies that you've got over there, with all those people on their second or third transaction. Otherwise, you're going to get a garbage reputation, and then the ship is going to sink. But the slow bleed has already happened. The tourniquet is on, but the blood is coming out massively, hemorrhaging. And so I think that what's going to happen is KW is going to be around for a little while because they're going to become the best puppy mill. But all these other companies are gone. History. Out. Everybody with a brain that is an island is going to go to eXp. Flat out. The only reason not to be at eXp is if you don't understand it or if you're on payroll somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the only thing that we ask, right? All we do is say, just look at the model. Like, just don't close your eyes, put your head in the sand. At least just look at it, and then you decide for yourself if it's for you or not for you. But most people are just like, no, because their company's feeding them a bunch of BS about what it really is, and they don't know what it really is. So all we say is figure it out what it is, actually study it and learn about it. And then if it's not for you, fine. We're not going to harass you to join, like, whatever. We're trying to bless you in your life. We're trying to help you figure this out so you're not left in the dust, right? That's why I told you, Serpa, because I'm like, dude, I love you. I want to help you.
That's right.
I want to help you. Right?
And so the thing is like, and I told you, I said, listen, man, I'm out. But what has happened is you gave me the opportunity to diversify. I was so sick of real estate. And so really the answer is trim versus diversify. Diversify all day long. And when you are in a situation where you're selling a certain amount of real estate every year, it just makes sense for your pocketbook. Because look, you got to add this stuff up. All this stuff costs money. Sky slope, conversion, okay, the cloud. But it costs significantly less money than running a Blockbuster.
Yeah.
So because of that, you're able to diversify in several different ways with the XP. You could become a coach, and there's actually a coaching program, but we don't keep doing it forever. We get you started in the right direction, and then we stop. Because the thing is who's in our mastermind right now that is going daily?
Who's in our mastermind?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of big players. Rick Jiha. We got Mike Bjorkman. We got Rosie Rodriguez. We got Brent Gove. You and me. Who else is in it? This mystery person that we can't talk about just yet.
Dude, and I'll tell you what, like, that's the levee right there. That's the levee. You know what I mean? The levee is going to break massively.
That's big, dude. That's a grand slam home run for you, man.
But what's so cool about this daily mastermind is that when it's up and running, and there are times it kind of ebbs and waves, but when it's up and running, it is a fantastic way to spend some time. Like, I just pop in there. I'm like, hey, what do you guys think about this? Or, hey, I need people to interview, because I'm starting to interview people Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we've been talking for a while. And so I'm gonna start signing off here. But I want to give you guys a little bit of an idea on what is coming. Serpa is back. I'm not going to be disappearing on you guys for a little while. I've decided to reformat some things to make it possible for me to join the new rich, bruh. The new rich is a concept out of the 4-Hour Workweek, which is a phenomenal book. Since reading the 4-Hour Workweek, everything about eXp has made sense to me. And so I've shifted my life towards that. Have you read the 4-Hour Workweek yet, Golden?
Oh, yeah, twice.
Dude. So when people understand that, how do they think about rich people? They'll be like, man, if I was a millionaire, this is how I would live. I would eat a little bit more, or eat a little bit better. I would spend more time with my family, and I would do what I want to do when I want to do it. And so my challenge to you is look at your life and start thinking, what am I doing that are not money-making activities? And I'm telling you that when I was with the big box companies, they wanted me in the office. They wanted me to be talking to people that I didn't really want to be talking to be helping them out. I wasn't getting paid to be doing it. And it was very frustrating for me. So look at it and say, what is making me money? And if it's not making you money, cut it out. You're volunteering. I volunteer by combating human trafficking. I volunteer by helping veterans get roofs over their heads. I don't need to volunteer by making some big fat cat a bunch of money. So I would rather work more efficiently. After reading the 4-Hour Work Week a couple of times, brother, what's your takeaway on it?
There?
Yeah. Golden, you there? Now lose you, buddy. Uh-oh. All right. Hey, well, if you're still watching this, we had a heck of a show. I'm going to tell you guys really quick a little bit more about – are you back? Well, we're having some technical difficulties with Golden.
I was like, what happened?
Oh, I lost you for a minute.
Yeah.
That was like magic.
So I get your point, and I'll leave you with this, right? So
Yeah.
what is success in your life mean, right? And for me, the thing that I want is to do what I want, when I want, with whom I want, as much as I want. And that, to me, is the ultimate success, right? And that's exactly where I'm going. And I can only go there because of eXp.
This person coming over to eXp on Monday, he says constantly, he says, if you are not financially free, you are not free. Your freedom is an illusion. Yeah. If you're not financially free, your freedom is an illusion. Can you do what you want to do tomorrow? If you can't, you're not there yet, brother. You know what I mean? Yep. So, but part of the benefit of being with eXp is that I get to work from home, which means that I get to take kids to kindergarten in 4 minutes. So, brother, that might be the best show that I have ever had as far as like up to date, in the moment analysis. I absolutely loved having you on. What was so cool about that was we got a chance to talk about the KW iBrokerage. We talked about what's happening with mega agents at KW right now. We talked about being dependent on your brokerage rates going up and shifting towards becoming a buyer's agent. She just turned 4 years old. How old are you, Charlotte?
4 years old.
That's right.
And coaching as we know it changing.
Coaching being history. Coaching is done. We talked about trimming versus diversifying, rev share versus profit share, the disappearing cap. It was absolutely enlightening. Less transactions versus being a higher quality agent. And I'm telling you what, brother, I'll be looking forward to having you on the next one. Tune in on Monday. You're going to find out who the surprise guest is on Sunday night. It's because we're going to let you guys know because we're going to get the show out there. But it is going to be an absolutely huge deal for me financially. She's set up for the rest of her life right now, and she doesn't even know it. And it's also going to be a big deal for him. Yeah. Absolutely. It's like we're going to be throwing retirement parties in like 100 days, bro.
Yes, that's the deal, right? That's exactly what I want to do is I'm going to be throwing retirement parties for realtors. That is my ultimate goal. That's what I want to give them. I want to give them that freedom, and I want to give them that gift.
And this is how simple it is. Really, realistically, recruit 15 people or attract 15 people, and your whole life changes. Your whole life changes at 15. At 20, your life changes and your kid's life change.
Your life changes. Your life changes at 5. I mean, your life changes again at 10.
Well, your life changes at 5 because, quite honestly, the money that I've been getting just from having the people that I have currently, it's been an excellent added benefit while making the transition to eXp. I had no idea how quickly it was going to kick in. But in 100 days, everything's going to be a lot different.
Oh, way different, buddy.
So by Christmas, bro, life is going to be different for both of us.
Oh, yeah.
Love you. And it already is.
Love you, buddy.
Virtual kiss.
All right, buddy.
Give me your cheek. Give it to me. Lean in.
Love you, my man.
All right, buddy. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Great show.